Hi, I'm Caitlin Diamond, and I'm going to do my informative speech on the Montessori method of teaching, something that's very near and dear to my heart, as that's my career choice. The greatest sign of success for a teacher is to be able to say, "The children are working as if I did not exist." That's a quote by Maria Montessori. Some background about Montessori, some of which I got from an article by Go Bree in Forbes magazine, is that, she was in Italy, and she was assigned to educate a bunch of the kids in one of the ghettos in Italy, while their parents were at work, and while they didn't have access to regular, everyday school materials, she did have access to all kinds of real life materials, which she was able to harness their energy and their creativity and make basically a method of teaching out of it. In Montessori, instead of, doing worksheets and sitting at a desk, the children are able to have a little bit of creative leeway and are able to choose what they would like to do based on their interests. And we follow the child, and whatever the child wants to do, that's what we will encourage and we will provide for them. Some of my credibility, I have been a Montessori teacher for 3 years now. I was a lead teacher for 2. In addition to that, my mother was a Montessori teacher for 15 years, so I'm very familiar with the method. I basically grew up in it, and that's why I think that it's definitely the best way to go if you're looking for education for your children. Montessori fosters independence and other skills that benefit a child definitely way into adulthood. Some of the most important components of Montessori, in my opinion, are that it follows the child's natural curiosity and thirst to learn. It offers real-life work instead of worksheets and all that other kind of school stuff that we're all used to. And there's no positive reinforcement, which seems harsh, but I'll get to that in a minute. Going to off my first point, when strictly implemented, Montessori education fosters social and academic skills that are equal to or superior to other types of schools. That's a quote from a UVA news article that I read. Basically, what it's saying is that it goes with what the child wants to do. Every child has a natural curiosity and a natural kind of thirst for learning. So when they're forced to work on math or they're forced to work on science, they lose interest in it. Well, a child might be really passionate and very curious about plants, but in a regular school system, they might only focus on plants 1 month out of the year or 1 week out of the year. In Montessori, what we do is if the child is focused on plants, we will provide all different kinds of plants for them, let them go collect them themselves, let them do art with it, and just explore it in every sense of the word until they decide they want to work on something else. And that's important to me because for me, it's always been difficult to focus on something that I'm not interested in. So if we take the child and let them work on something that they're interested in every day, then eventually they'll become interested in more and more, and they'll pursue more and more in their life. On my next point, the real life skills, that's very important to me also because many children, they can do addition, they can do subtraction, but they can't sweep the floor and they can't wipe down a table correctly. And those are the kind of things that you need to learn first because that's how you live. You need to learn that before you learn how to do multiplication, and in many other school systems, that's not even a topic. And from my personal experience, a child who's been raised in Montessori and a child who has not, the difference between them is absolutely mind-blowing. And many children can't do anything for themselves, even at the age of 8, and I have 2-year-olds who are able to do these things. And that's an aspect of Montessori that I love. In addition to that, the kids, they love to do what they see mommy and daddy and what they see the teachers doing. They love to clean and they love to prepare their own snacks, all of which is very important for a child. In my last main point, when we talk about no positive reinforcement, it doesn't mean that we're negative. We don't tell them negative things. A child does not need to be told good job every time they do something simple. They don't need to we don't need to hold their hand and tell them how good they are at every point in the day. What that fosters is it facilitates a sense of pride in finishing a work. Your whole life as an adult, you're not going to have someone there telling you good job every step of the way. So if you learn as a child that completing the work is the reward and the end result of your work is the reward, then that is what they're going to carry on with them into adulthood. And that's the most important thing, is to have a sense of accomplishment within yourself that doesn't stem from other people. Again, Montessori, in my opinion, fosters independence and other skills in ways that other school kind of systems just do not, and this will benefit a child far into adulthood. My main points were that the curiosity of the child is very important. We don't want them to lose that as they grow, and we want to encourage that as much as we can and encourage them to research and learn everything they want about things that interest them. The real life work is important because without those basic skills, what are you going to do as an adult? There are some adults I know who can't do these basic skills, and if they had learned as children then in Montessori, then they wouldn't be facing these problems today. And then also the no positive reinforcement, which might seem kind of harsh to some people, but the children need to learn that completing their work and doing it the correct way and completely, that is what's important, and that's what is gonna make them successful later in life. So, in my opinion, Montessori is the best option for your child, my child, and every child. Thank you for listening.